In life, you have a thing called condemnation, and cities have the right to condemn for the good of a city, whether it's New York, whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's any other place. Everybody coming into Atlantic City sees that property, and it's not fair to Atlantic City and the people. They're staring at this terrible house instead of staring at beautiful fountains and beautiful other things that would be good.
You're bullying these people out because they're...
Excuse me, that's wrong. But for you to use the word bully, John, is very unfair. This is a government case. This is not Donald Trump.
Firstly, what are the issues Christian churches are dealing with today in relation to eminent domain?
Well, Christians or churches, just like anybody else, any private citizen, can be subjected to having to hand over their property if the government comes in and says, we need this property for public use. They will have to hand over their property. So they get paid off, they cannot refuse.
Commonly, we think that there is a distinct separation between church and state. But with an issue related to eminent domain, the state, if it needs a piece of property to use for, say, a school, or say maybe Old Shell Road needed to be converted and needed some of our property at Spring Hill Presbyterian Church. The state obviously would pay us money, but they could take some of our property as a church.
Secondly, we were asked, can the government use eminent domain as a reason to take over a church?
Yes, they can. If the government is needing that particular property, then they will, the church will need to hand over their property, even though they may not agree with the reason that they, for instance, if they're having a strip mall that they want to build there, and there's going to be a Planned Parenthood, the church may or may not agree, probably will not agree with that opinion, but they cannot refuse to hand over their property if the government comes in and pays them for it.
I would say they can't take over a church per se, because a church is much more than a building, but they could definitely take over a piece of land and take that church's building if they needed to use that piece of land for a reason. I know that sometimes those laws, cities can find loopholes for economic advantage, and they're not maybe using those pieces of land like they should. But most of the time, I think cities try to respect churches and try to hear their needs and their struggles if the government does need to take over that piece of land.
Lastly, we were asked, is it legal for a city to deny a zoning permit to a church because the building they wish to acquire is in a commercial, agricultural, or residential zone?
No, they do not have the right to do that. Churches follow the protection of the First Amendment, and if it causes a church undue problems to not have their church in a specific location, they cannot be refused to build their church, even if the zoning is not right. If they want to put it in a commercial zone, they can. A few years ago, you may remember that, they tried to put a mosque in the 9/11 spot, and even though it was not built, it had nothing to do with zoning. It's just that there was such a backlash from the community, and they decided to make it a museum. But if they had wanted to, they could have built it there because they are protected.
Luckily not. Churches can can buy pieces of property regardless of their zoning permits, which is a great thing. And so you see churches all over in residential areas and agricultural areas and all kinds of areas. And so luckily the state, I think, realizes the benefit of having churches throughout our country, and sort of how a church can hopefully open its doors to the community and vice versa. And so in a good world, luckily our state recognizes I think the good things that come when a church is in a space. So.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that. I'm really rich. I'll show you that. A net worth. Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich. Free trade can be wonderful if you have smart people. But we have people that are stupid. I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my word.